Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Mindfully Curious podcast. I am Steph, and I am your guide in this journey of being mindfully curious. So, on the episode today, I will be chatting with my friend, Mr. Matthew Lombardo. We are going to be talking about our fitness journeys and how we manage to seduce fitness into our routines, into our rituals, into our everyday lifestyle. For me, you guys might remember me mentioning this in prior episodes, or if you follow me on Instagram or have attended any workshop or event with me, you might know that I have struggled finding my health and my fitness in my adult life. I mentioned that I was part of a family that really believed in the importance of doing after school sports activities, so I always grew up just kind of being forced to do a bunch of physical activity, kind of whether I wanted to or not. It was just like what you did. And my mom was pretty health conscious when it came to shopping for groceries and food. Even though my dad always made sure he had Coca-Cola available to drink in the fridge, we really were not able to have like candy and stuff like that in the house. So, the first thing I ever did when I moved out on my own, of course, was live out or live with a diet of like hot dogs and Taco Bell and whatever, because I'm like, hey, look, I eat this stuff and like nothing happens, my parents are crazy, whatever. Then later on in life, I went to college and I learned all about biology and nutrition, and then realized that perhaps I needed to adjust my diet. And I was pretty healthy. I mean, at least looking until I turned about 30. Yeah. Once I turned 30, I feel like in a blink of an eye, I had gained like 50 or 60 pounds. I developed thyroid issues that were kind of, I don't want to say severe, but I was like on a high dose of a medication that I needed to take on a daily basis. That led to me developing all these little ticky-tacky things like anxiety and allergies, whatever. Any little condition, I kind of was diagnosed with it, and it was just so upsetting to be trying to work in healthcare, because I was considering being a nurse and trying working as a nurse in nursing school, and not being able to do the work because I wasn't healthy. It just really didn't seem to add up. And then on top of that, I was dealing with this third surgery on my left ACL that I had injured doing some extreme sports a few years back. And anyway, I had lost all connection with my body. I mean, like, the relationship with my body was just so unhealthy, and it really took a few years to find my way around this romancing fitness back into my life. And by doing that, I mean finding a way to eat that was making me feel good and make my body healthy, and finding a exercise routine, or making sure I incorporate movement in ways that keep my joints working without pain and help me do the activities that I want to do on a daily basis. So if I want to go out on my longboard, I don't have to be scared of hurting myself because I don't have that level of fitness. So, we're gonna be talking all about that. Matthew also will offer some really good advice on how to manage your social media like a pro. And we are also going to be talking about the creative process of him building his podcast, which you can check out. I have linked all of Matthew's social media and a link to his podcast. I mean, honestly, with Matthew in the show notes. Please remember that the guests show up for you, the listeners. So if you have any questions or want to reach out to either the guest or myself, we are here waiting to hear your feedback. And if you're listening, please take a minute to leave a review. It really helps legitimize the work that I'm putting into this podcast and helps me be able to legitimize bigger chunks of time for our guests to come and share. So I wanted to touch up on something that I mentioned last week before we carry on with the conversation with Matthew. I mentioned doing a self-love project and trying to use OnlyFans as a platform for it. Well, let me give you an update on that. Apparently, I am not legitimate enough to be able to have an account with them because apparently I look nothing like my ID or something like that, which just seems ridiculous. Like, I was able to open a crypto wallet with my ID, so why can't I open an OnlyFans account? Anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update on that. So if you don't see that coming to fruition, now you know why. Alright, guys. Yo, and if you're like, what the F is a crypto wallet? Then, dude, really Google crypto. And if you're into digital art at all, definitely look up NFT art. Your mind's about to get blown. Okay, so last but not least, I do want to mention to you guys that we are going to be expanding the podcast into Clubhouse coming soon in the next 2 weeks. That will be additional to our regularly scheduled weekly episode combos. We will be hosting a podcast room where we are going to be talking about ways that we can empower and nurture creativity in ourselves and in situations in life overall. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you hit me up on Clubhouse, add me, so when we get these rooms scheduled, you can be on the up and up so you can join us live. Alrighty, thank you so much for being here once again. My name is Steph. Without further ado, here's our conversation with Matthew. Big love, everyone. Matthew, welcome.
Woohoo!
I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Well, thank you for coming up and talking to me. And I'm super excited to talk to you about our fitness journeys, because that's kind of how we met, through fitness.
Woo woo, we're getting our fit on. Uh-huh.
That's right. Gotta get healthy.
Amen.
So I know for me, health and fitness has kind of been like an interesting journey. In the
Mhm.
beginning, I was young, a child. My parents were like pretty health conscious, I'd say. So I ate all the vegetables, whatever, got forced to do all the sports. And then as soon as I moved out from my parents' house, it was like now I'm buying all the snacks. I'm literally like living on hot dogs. And I was still doing activity, but I definitely wasn't training. So that kind of like drove me down the road of like, next thing you know, I've been injured. I don't trust my body anymore. I gained like 50, 60 pounds. I have all of these, like, I'm taking medication for like thyroid, anxiety, and I'm just like spiraling out of control.
Mhm. I can totally relate to that. I was not big on gym class when I was a kid. I hated it. I hated gym. I would rather um, be in art class. The worst day was the day of the mile run. I was like, can I fake cramps? I'm not a girl, so I can't say, like, oh my gosh, I have PMS. I tried everything and I played sports. I played soccer badly. Um, I played tennis in high school very badly, like so bad that they wouldn't even let me play in a match. I would just show up for practice, volley the balls around by myself, and then watch practice and be like, way to go, guys. You're doing great.
At least you tried it though.
I mean, hey, I got the trophy, so that's what matters.
Hell yeah.
And it wasn't until I was older and where I'm from up in Connecticut, there was a gym membership deal at a gym, and it was you got 3 months for free. And I'm like, maybe I could do this. And I did, and I joined for 3 months. I joined and I got the 3 months for free, and I got hooked. And I got hooked on group classes, kickboxing, spinning. I was like, yes. And it just became like this outlet. And I think fitness and eating healthy or just being healthy can kind of come in waves. And you have to ride that wave because I think with the whole COVID situation I was working out at home. I was not into going to a gym. I was doing online workouts. I won't say the name of the the company, but it started with your body and you were on a beach.
Oh, I like
Reverse
that
the
already.
If you reverse the two, that's what it was. But it was great, but I wouldn't push myself the way I do now. And so I started, we could say where we go, right?
Yeah, you
Okay,
honestly
so
you can say whatever you want.
all
I
right. Well, we go to Rhapsody downtown, and it was really I was very much into soul searching because I didn't know if I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I go, I don't want to do this CrossFit thing. Like, I don't want to be carrying, kegs and sandbags and climbing ropes and I did one free class, and Alan, who is one of the co-owners of the gym, was like, just come on in and give it a try. And so I did. And then I come on in again and try out another class. I did 3 classes and then I broke down. I bought a 10 class pass. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this. It's going to keep me sane. And I was going to do once a week for 10 weeks. And so I did every Saturday for 10 weeks, but they had to shut the gym down for 2 weeks because of COVID restrictions. And it was kind of a blessing because then I was able to do 2 weeks, two sessions a week till the remaining. And I remember the last day, my 10th class was the first sweat and serve that Rhapsody does. And we went to Sullivan's Island and we were cleaning the beach. And it was such a sense of community and people just talking to you. And I mean, I'm very body conscious. I don't, I have insecurities like we all do. There are things that I would like to change about myself, but I feel the older that I'm getting, it's more just like embrace who you are. And that day, I remember standing on the beach and everyone was ripping off their shirts and everyone looked damn good. I mean, like, child, I was like, whew. And I said, to Gino was there, Gino, who's one of the coaches, and I love her.
Oh, I love her too.
She's such a little spitfire.
And she's got good ass dance moves, dude.
She does. Like, I want to look like Gino when I grow up.
That's right.
I had said to her, I'm like, I'm not going in the water because no one wants to see a beached whale. And she looked at me and she's like, sweetie, you just have to love who you are. And at that point, I stopped and I took a beat and I said, you know what, you're right. And I ripped my shirt off and I ran into the water with everybody. And I just didn't turn back. And it was so funny because I bought an unlimited membership that day and I texted Alan. I said, I'm going to do this. And he was like so proud of me. And what I think is so important is anybody who I see that comes to a class that I go to and I don't know them, I go out of my way to say hi to them. What brought you in? Because I know how intimidating it can be and how intimidated I was. I was terrified. I mean, Alan doesn't remember this, but my first class was a sweaty Saturday, which is basically a dance party. It is a dance party. Have you ever done the Saturday classes?
I have never gone on Saturday.
You have to come on a Saturday. I am there at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm a 7 a.m. regular. And my first class was a Saturday class. I was wearing a blue workout shirt that had the word squat goals in gold. I stood in the back, and this was before COVID was, so there was a lot of people in the gym, and I was terrified. But having been going to Rhapsody since May, I've seen such a growth in myself. I'm getting stronger, and I'm finding that fitness is more about being stronger, not having the ripped body, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm going to have a ripped body, then yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. I mean, I'll take some abs, but
that is right.
I also like cake. So,
and again, that's one of the things about balance. You got to be balanced because we only got one shot at this thing called life, and it's we are worthy of eating the cake and having ripped abs too.
Yes, so, I would love a set of abs, and I just told you this today, like I have 2 months till my birthday and I don't like birthdays. And you're probably going to like fall out of your chair when you hear this. I don't like being the center of attention on my birthday.
Yeah.
I just don't. I feel very guilty about people like wanting to do nice things for me. And I'm like, no, it's not a big deal. So my birthday this year, I am determined I will take a thirst trap photo on the beach.
Do you have a photographer or anything?
Not yet. I'll probably just do it with my iPhone because I don't want to like punish someone to see that.
Oh, stop. Dude, I'll totally help you out. I'm not a photographer, but I can take some pretty decent iPhone photos.
Just do it's all about the angles and the lighting.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Right.
But I think something that's really important is goal setting. And I'm a firm believer in it's really funny because it's a quote from one of my favorite movies, Pretty Woman. You got to have a goal. Do you have a goal? You got to have a goal. And I think sometimes we forget about that. And we just get so caught up in, Monday through Friday or just, the monotony of it all that,
or even just the fear of what's going on outside.
Exactly. And fear is a good thing to have. And you can't have success without having fear. And if we're looking at it from the fitness standpoint for me, during the summer, Rhapsody would host like Rhapsody 101s. I don't think you had started yet. I don't
Yeah, I don't
remember.
think so.
Everything's blended and I don't even know what month we're in anymore. What year are we in? What's going on? What
Are we
planet
still
are we on?
alive?
Are we live? Is this an alternate universe? That would be
Yeah,
nice,
it
actually.
totally could be.
Is this the Matrix? I never saw the movie, but maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I've heard things. People talk about, is this the Matrix? I don't know. I knew Keanu Reeves was in it, but I know him from Speed. You know, Keanu Reeves is from Speed.
You know, same movie, more computers in one.
Yeah. You know, more computers, you know, Speed. You know, there's a bomb on the bus and it can't go over 50. You never, you know, but they used to have, see, there's gonna be 1,000 stories you're gonna hear today. That's what it's like having a conversation with me. Be prepared. You're gonna hear 1,000 different stories to make one point for one story.
It's one great adventure.
It is. It's an adventure. So fasten your seatbelts. But they used to do, and I'm sure they'll probably start when the weather gets a little bit nicer down here in Charleston. They would do Rhapsody 101. So one Saturday or Sunday, I forget, it would be just handstands. And then it was for an hour. They did one on kettlebells, on running, on rowing, really great in-depth, like let's just focus on one skill for an hour. And the first one that I went to was handstands. And you saw me today, like I am terrified to do a damn handstand. It scares the shit out of me. And when I came to the workshop and they got me up, I got myself up and Alan helped me up. And I cursed quite a bit when I was up there. And what it really rubs me the wrong way is no one had a damn camera to take a picture of me doing a handstand. But it's one of those skill sets and one of those goals that when I sat down, I said, you know what, I want to be able to do a handstand. And so I'm getting to the gym early, you know, as much as I possibly can. And I'm working on doing my handstands. Am I getting it? I'm kind of getting it. I'm getting better and I'm seeing improvement, but I'm seeing improvement because I'm putting in the work.
That's
No.
Damn right. You got to put in the work.
You got to put in the work.
I kind of just want to rewind a little bit and kind of clarify to the audience that we kind of went through our fitness journeys until we kind of like met each other at this place, which, yes, just happens to be a CrossFit gym. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, and you know, probably somebody has already heard me say that. If you asked me 2 years ago if I would ever end up in a CrossFit gym, like I would 100% say there is no effing way. One, because I thought it was just for like yoked out bros.
Yep.
And I was like super scared to go in there because me too, you know, I have body insecurities and not just of how I look, but how my body works because I've had surgery on my left ACL 3 times. So to me, you know, it's like, okay, well, am I going to break my leg? Because I feel like if I jump off the curb, my leg is just going to fall off. Like that's how I felt. So I just think it's so awesome that everyone I talk to that has tried that hard of a workout at this particular place. I don't know if all gyms are going to be like that, but we definitely are kind of #blessed to have had that resource cross our paths. Or at least I really do feel like that because damn, they do all of those things that you just said, the community element, the challenge element, they focus on goals. And they really do, like they are just good people that are putting themselves out there, you know, really trying to make the world a better place. It's
really true. And everyone's like, well, who's your favorite coach? And I go, I love every single one. They all bring their, you know, individual strengths to the table. I love every class. You know, today was Aaron, and I haven't, you know, Aaron doesn't coach as much as he used to, but you know, when Aaron's there, it's, you know, a great class. When Carrie, it's a great class. Gino, Whitney, Haven't taken any of Elizabeth's classes, but I've had her once. That's a lie. I had her once. She's great. Like everybody is great. And not only is it great coaches, it's a great community. It's so nice to just be able to talk to somebody, and we're all there because we all want a workout, and we're given a workout. That's for sure. Today was not fun. You and I suffered together.
Yes.
So
And that's something else, like suffer, and you say suffer because it really is like a hard workout. Like I've been to a million yoga classes, even really
mhm.
hardcore hot yoga has nothing on this. Like when you say suffer, I mean, yeah, like I really feel like you probably end up kind of getting the same bonding as like people in the military. It's like at some
Mhm.
point, life or death. Like, oh, my Apple Watch just said my heart rate was like 170. Is that like really bad or what?
That's fun. But no, it's so, the part that I love about it is, and I love when, I mean, I don't love going out on a run. I hate going out on a run. And running today, for everybody who's listening, it's probably like 37 degrees here in Charleston. I did not sign up for that when I moved down. um, but we had to run today, and I did the 400-meter run 3 times, and it literally sucked the breath out of me. And I think you were on the bike when I came in and we had to do the kettlebell swings. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is horrible. But I kept pushing. And whenever I do something, I have, things that I think about to push myself, whatever it may be. And one of the things that just was brought to my attention, and if she's listening, I love her and she's amazing, Whitney. She coaches, but she also takes classes there. And she said to me, we're doing an 800-meter run. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. Because apparently, this is what I've been told. Coaching a class that Matthew is in is watching the 5 stages of grief. Because I'm like full blown denial. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Nope, not doing it. And then I'm at the very end, I'm like, okay, I'm done. But Whitney had said to me when we were going out on this 800-meter run, we do hard things. We do hard things. And it just got really like in my head, I'm like, yeah, we do hard things. And so whenever I'm in a workout, it's running, it's lifting, I think to myself, we do hard things. And today on that run, I was actually chanting it. And I say, walking is not an option. I don't care if I have to do the slowest damn jog there ever was. I am not going to walk because walking is not an option, and we do hard things.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And on the
And
other side of that coin, I definitely want to add that the coaches also have so much compassion and understanding because, like I said, I've had that injury. And like you said, I wasn't running today, I was on the bike because I know that if I go out running, all that impact with the cold, I'm going to be hurting. And I'm not about to be hurting, and they're totally cool with that. They will help you scale down your workout. They really do meet you wherever you're at. And that's just
exactly.
really cool. Do you think that the reason this gym is so like different than other gyms is because the owners, I would say, are so different than like any other gym owner that I've known? Like just in my neighborhood, there's 2 gyms. One's a CrossFit gym, the other one isn't. And like I've visited both of them, considered them, and I ended up like just not feeling comfortable there because both of the owners were like gym people. And I'm
Uh-huh.
not saying that the owners here are not gym people because they absolutely are, but I feel like there's just so much more than that.
I think, and so brief story about me is I've been down in Charleston for 3 years, which is I think about the time Rhapsody has been open. And I did a lot of soul searching on whether I wanted to do it. And I had talked to Alan. He probably doesn't remember, But I had talked to him via Instagram for a year leading up to joining because
Wow.
I didn't think I could do it. And I think they're more about building that sense of community. Yeah, they're gym people, but they come from different backgrounds. Alan and Trinity, they come from, they're from New York, they're from Broadway. They bring that to the table, but also the fitness. And it's such an incredible sense of community. And honestly, and this probably sounds so weird, and people are going to say, oh, he is like bullshit. That's not true. But I don't consider it working out anymore. It's like, hey, I'm just going to go to Rhapsody. Just
Go
going to
hang
go.
out with my friends.
And that's what it is. And, it's fun because we get to look and see who's in the classes. Like I saw you last week at the yoga recovery class. And then I'm like, oh, we're recording today, but oh, I'm going to see you in class. That's so awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely think that's something that I found through this type of working out that I haven't found at other gyms before is kind of like that playfulness. Because I've gone to group classes before, and the feeling there was just kind of like, okay, this is a group class, get in your spot and like do the moves, and hopefully you can keep up. If not, the really good people will next class will stand at the front, and the ones that
Exactly.
can't keep up go to the back.
Hide in the back.
If you're cool, maybe somebody will talk to you, but that's pretty much it. And this is not the case. It really just is like you're going to play with a group of people that even though you might not know them, you know that everybody's kind of going to be on that same level where we're here to only compete with ourselves, play with
Exactly.
everybody else, and have fun, because we do get rowdy there.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I'm in a class, I sometimes feel bad for the coaches because I go off, and it's so funny because people say to me, they're like, I love when you're in class because you're so fun. And yes, I'm a very fun person.
I'm a fun guy.
I'm a fun guy. Not a mushroom, but I'm a fun guy. Boom, boom. I'm here all week. Um, but I think it's so important that we have fun in everything that we do.
Everything.
Everything. We have to smile. We have to be positive. We have to see the good in things. And so when I'm at the gym, like I make this, I'm sassy sometimes. I mean, I am sassy. But I try to see the good out of it. And the good is like I'm getting stronger, you know, not to quote Britney Spears, but I'm stronger than yesterday. I'm not the person I was yesterday, the person I was 3 months ago. Hell, I'm not the person I was 5 years ago. Um, and it's just, I'm getting stronger. And it's the strength is, physical, but also like mental there. And I'm just learning about myself and learning about what I can do. And, it's because we do hard things. Hashtag Whitney. Hashtag, I need to give kudos to her for that. Oh gosh.
Don't worry, you did. You did. So, how do you think this new like self-found confidence in your health, in your body, in your mental fortitude has kind of woven its way from the gym into other parts of your life?
I think, oh gosh, that's a tricky one. Oh my gosh. I think when you start loving who you are and you just really you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. And you might not be working out. You might just, love yourself, I don't know, watching Netflix or something like that. You have
Taking
to
a
find
bath.
yeah, I mean, I love myself taking a bath too. Like, but at the end of the day, you're your own best company. And so, would you want to be in a relationship with someone that you can't stand? No, you don't want to. And what the part that just irks me sometimes is they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do, they're complaining about something. It's so minuscule. It's so small. And the first thing I say, and I really think I get this from my Mima, my grandmother, who is going to be 82 this month, but
Nice.
she always says, I get up and I thank God, she's very religious. I thank God every day that I'm here. And that I think that I'm like, you know what? I'm not a religious person by any means, but I say to the people, I go, did you get out of bed today? Are your legs moving? And so to turn that into fitness, my legs are moving. So I'm gonna climb a rope. No, I don't climb a rope. I struggled last week. So there are no photos of me climbing a rope. But I'm able to run. I am able to do a kettlebell swing. I'm able to do, a clean and press and do all these things that we do. And I'm grateful for it. And I think practicing gratitude is very important, and being positive and pushing yourself, and you know just it's an incredible mindset. And once you find that mindset and you're able to express gratitude and just take a little time for yourself, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's going for a walk, but moving your body, that you're given, and you only have this one body, and so you have to use it. There you go. I just rambled on. That was about 15 minutes about me just talking in circles, and it's
No,
just
no, that was like an inspirational speech because you are so right. I mean, if you start your day with gratitude for just being here, having this body that you can use as a tool for experiencing the world, I
Mhm.
mean, it's hard to go, wrong from there. And
And
I mean, you
something,
make a great point of making sure you take care of yourself and having many different tools in that self-care tool belt,
yes,
not just
self-care
working out.
is, it's so important. And I think something that we've learned over the past year, being in lockdown and being just with everything that was going on, I think more than ever, we learned that self-care is imperative, and we need to slow down and appreciate the little things. And for me, something that I shouldn't say I've always done, I've done it on and off, is I'm a big journaler. And I'm always like, I'm gonna write, I'm writing a journal, I'm gonna write in a journal every night, and I'm gonna journal about, my day. And I went through a really toxic breakup about 5 years ago, and I had a journal and I brought it with me everywhere. It was on my desk at work. I put it in the car with me when I was driving somewhere. And if I had to put something down on paper, I would write it down. I would cut out little things that I saw, or different inspirational quotes, and I'd stick them in. And I journaled, and it was in like a transitional year for me. And at the end of the year is when I moved down to Charleston. Um, but I still have that journal, and I refuse to get rid of it because it represents who I was then. And I've struggled over the years staying consistent with journaling. So you have to find what works for you. And so for me to practice gratitude and, reflect on my day is, I'm a morning person. Like, it's bad. Like 3:30, I'm up, and I just, I'll journal probably like 4:30, and I set a time like, all right, I write one full page. And I started January 1st, um, to really journal and just practice gratitude, and just, I'm thankful for this. And I make sure I don't write anything negative in there. So if somebody pisses me off, like to high heaven, I just say, okay, like this is happening. I don't bring the person's name in it. It's just, this is what's going on. I'm doing this. And it's a great way to look at self-care because you can see trends in what you're doing, but also you can reflect back on it and see, okay, this is how I reacted to this situation. And if I'm going to not talk about it in a negative light, and you can look back and see that, then going forward, you can react positive.
Yeah, man, I love journaling as an alchemizing practice. Like it really does. I personally, I haven't been like a lifetime journaler,
Yep.
but I read somewhere, I don't remember where, that journaling was actually very helpful if you were going through like depression or anxiety. So that's kind of where I was at. So I figured, hell, I'll try this. And absolutely so helpful. Like you said, it really helps you turn a situation that could be super negative into like an opportunity to challenge yourself, to change the
Absolutely.
narrative.
Absolutely. And it's so important. And it doesn't have to be a fancy journal. You don't have to, you know, spend all this money. You can go to the store and buy like a cheap little notebook because that's what I had back when I was going through hell pretty much.
I
Oh,
literally
look at
just use
yours.
like it's just like a Mead notebook, you know?
Exactly.
They're like
That's
70
perfect.
cents.
Okay, well, I won't tell my journal I got from Barnes and Noble, but it was on clearance for $7.
Hey, but
But I'm
it's part of
fancy
your
like that.
self-care. Exactly. It's part of your self-care. Talking
Mhm.
about self-care and self-love, I kind of want to tie this in into what you do as a professional in the world, which is manage social media. And
I do.
I know a lot of people have kind of like a, I don't want to call it a toxic relationship with social media, but perhaps not the healthiest relationship. And
Yes.
yet, so many of us kind of have to use social media for communication, for work, for whatever. So, through your time doing this professionally, what kind of advice do you have for people?
So, working in the profession that I'm in, I am extremely fortunate that when COVID hit, um, my organization stayed open and we weren't laid off or furloughed or anything of the sort. So, hey, practicing gratitude right there, like, thank you. I was able to shift my focus to the um, social media realm of my position. And I, again, people have such toxic relationships with it. And it's really interesting having a personal account and then a professional account. And I think if you're doing it on a professional level, it's finding the niche that works for you. Um, and just in terms of professionalism and stuff, it's sticking to a schedule and making sure you don't post. For me personally, if a business posts like 7 articles a day or 7 Instagram posts or whatever it may be, I am not looking at all of them.
Yeah,
I
nobody
like to
got time
see,
for that.
no, I'm taking time like scrolling through TikTok and stuff. But it's so important to just like post one meaningful thing a day because that'll grab more attention, but also to stay consistent on a schedule. So one of the things that I do for my organization is we do Quote It Thursdays. So every Thursday, when we have our staff, Zoom meeting, somebody has to do a quote. And so then what I do in turn is just pull that quote with a little meme or whatever it may be and post that. Hashtag Quote It Thursdays. And people look forward to that. So if you're giving something to people so they can look forward to it, you know, um, it makes it a lot easier. And it's also important to be aware of who your audience is, but also what kind of an impact you want to make. And if we're talking about in terms of just personal social media, there's a few things you shouldn't talk about. And this is how I was born and raised. You don't talk about religion and you don't talk about politics. Unfortunately, in the culture that we are in right now and have been, there's been a lot of political conversations, which are great, but it's so easy for someone that you don't know to hide behind the phone and trash you because you make a political statement. So for me personally and professionally, I stay out of the political scene on social media, um, because I don't, everybody has their opinions, everybody has their views. I respect them, but I think we need to get to a place where social media is a great tool. Um, it's a free tool most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
99.9% of the time. I use it because I'm from Connecticut and I still have family and friends up there, and they can see my life down here. And trust me, I, for a while, considered getting rid of Facebook. And I said, no, that's how I communicate with family members that live up in Connecticut that I can't see. Or I have friends in California and I want them to see what I'm doing. And, you know, professionally, it's putting yourself out there and putting your organization out there. But personally, it's putting yourself out there, but it's also just showing the positive points of it all. So that's important to keep in mind is you're only on a personal level, you're only seeing a smidge bit of the person, who they are and their day and what they're doing. So
And I think
that's
that's really important to keep in mind that it's only a little piece that you're seeing from personal accounts. Because, yes,
exactly.
of course, like if I just got run over by a car, like I'm not going to pull my phone and put a picture on
No.
Instagram because I'm probably just not even going to be thinking about that.
And I think so often, and again, I'm going to like the personal side of it all, we're so visual, and you might see someone, and if we tie into fitness, like, yeah, they're like really good looking and like they have abs and like washboard, or they just did this. Honey, there's a thing called airbrush and there's a thing called filters and there is lighting, and I'm guilty of it. I try not to anymore over filter my photos because I want people to see the genuine me. Mind you, if I got a zit or something, like that's going away. Clearly, like I like to be the most genuine form of myself. Um, I'm not one to shy away from a little airbrush here and there. But and I also, something that I think about with social media is filters, airbrushing, angling, all that stuff 10, 15, 20 years ago wasn't mainstream. It was for, the celebrities that were in magazines, and they would say it, they're like, that's not me. That's not me. I don't got those abs. Or I don't have, that thin of a nose. Um, but now it's so mainstream that anyone can get. I don't get me wrong, I have the airbrush app on my phone. And it's all like, now we kind of know, like, okay, well, don't look like this, don't tuck your chin down, tuck your chin up. And we know how to stand to make ourselves look a certain way and how we want to be perceived. And we hold that tool in our hands every day, being our phone. We could post what we want the world to see. I'm getting deep. Jeez. I'm
No, but
getting
you
deep,
do
and
bring, you're having
I'm
so
like,
many good points.
I'm bringing up points and I'm like, damn, I'm good.
And that's why they pay you the big bucks. But one of the big things that you just said is be authentic. Like
Yes.
I understand if you're doing it for a business, especially if it's not your personal business, you probably have like different guidelines that you're going
Yep.
to adhere to, which totally makes sense. And no shame in that game. But if you're doing it for yourself, whether you're marketing your business or yourself in any way, because I mean, artists, I think, kind of are in a weird intersection of where business meets personal.
Yes.
So I agree with be authentic and make it as you can.
Absolutely.
And
And I
totally cool.
think,
Yep, sorry.
no, sorry. I think it's just so important to just be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Love yourself, and everything will come to you. It's
Yes.
that, be thankful, be grateful, be yourself. I had a music teacher many, many years ago. She's probably dead now. That's so horrible to say.
Well,
Um,
she's totally gonna listen to this
she's
and be like, I'm
probably
not dead.
she's like, I'm not dead. Oh. But she had a saying, and it was with different musical notes, and it was like, "Don't be sharp, don't be flat, just be yourself." And it was all like different like music notes, and it's true. Just be yourself and love yourself. You know, I think so often we compare ourselves to others, and I am not saying that I don't do this, because I do, um, but I have learned in my I'm not gonna say how many years it is, um, but I have learned to love myself, and you just have to set a goal, and it's so important just to love yourself and be positive, and you know set a goal, love yourself, be positive and motivating on social media, and you know you're not going to appease everyone, you're not going to make everybody happy, but the way I look at it, like if I'm at the gym, if I can make one person laugh, I've done my job.
Man,
So
and you make so many people laugh. And worst case scenario, I don't know
yeah,
about you, but I make myself laugh all the time.
I do too, because I'm pretty damn funny. But I just think it's so important. Just we're not on this earth for all that long. That sounds really morbid and depressing, but in the grand scheme of things, we aren't. And we just need to laugh and love ourselves and love each other, and let's raise each other up versus knocking each other down.
Yes, I will second you on that one. Love
Boo boo.
yourself, love each other, and from there, it's all gravy. Like it really is gravy.
Amen to that. Yeah. I mean, I just, and you have to find your niche. For me, my niche has been CrossFit it's almost a year, and it works. It's the niche that I was searching for. Maybe I didn't know I was searching for it, but I found it. And, whatever your niche is, and it's
And I
just
would just want to say that you found it because you gave yourself the opportunity to, one, stop judging yourself,
mhm,
stop judging others, and then just do an experiment and see what happens. And look at the
exactly.
result.
It's true. Like I took it's a quote. I don't know who said it, but you regret, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, like you regret 99% or 99% of the chances you don't take. I think it's something along those lines. Um, and it's so true. You know, if you don't take that chance, that leap of faith, you're never going to know. I would never, it's something that you said earlier, I would never have believed myself if, a year ago, I would tell my, year ago self, hey, you're going to run a mile, or you're going to be semi-sufficient in double unders with the jump rope, or you're going to be understanding how to do a handstand. If we look at it in the fitness aspect of it all, you're going to be able to do this. You're going to be able to lift heavier weights than you thought possible. And it's just that one little leap of faith, just that 1 second, that one leap of faith, and just to put that trust and, all that fun stuff out there. I hope
Yes,
it's
give
making
yourself a
sense to
shot.
people. Exactly.
Absolutely.
People are like, oh my goodness, he's making no sense whatsoever. He just rambles on and on and on. And on. That's what happens, kids, when you get old. You just ramble on and on and on and on. Just
Oh man.
like you just gotta tell me, like, Matthew, shut up. just shut up.
You gotta have that wrap it up machine. No.
Exactly. Like someone needs to take the cane and like pull me off the stage.
It's funny because, a lot of people sometimes, whenever they come on the podcast, I've noticed they feel like they're rambling on. And I'm like, no, no, like this is literally the space for it. Like that's why we're here. Because I think that expressing yourself is so important. And, through this platform, if nobody gets anything except for like a little inspiration and says, hey, look at that girl, like she just like talks all kinds of nonsense, maybe I should do this too. Fuck yeah, dude. Like that's literally the biggest goal here, is to inspire people to try something new that maybe they thought, because they were judging themselves or others, that they were not going to do. And again, if they got anything out of this conversation, is that you might find the funnest things in the weirdest places.
Seriously. I think it's when you're together with people socially distanced and you're sweating together, and you're still sweating in this cooler weather we're having down here, but in the summer when we are dripping and it is miserable, and you're like, why am I doing this to myself? And you're towards the end of a workout, and the class that you're in is cheering you on, or they're clapping for you and they're like, go Matthew, yeah, you could do this. That's what makes it all worth it, because you have someone has your back.
Yes.
And you're not going to know that unless you take that leap of faith.
Oh my God. And you just made such another great point, which is in these times of socially distance where you might not be able to go out to wherever you used to go, the club, the coffee shop, whatever, gyms, are still open. And this is like a doubly healthy way to still interact with people IRL.
And that's, our gym is extremely cautious of the restrictions, and they get they sanitize, and I've seen the person come 2-3 times a week, and they spray the gym down and it smells like a pool because there's it's like it's clean, and we all wear our masks and have our temperature taken when we walk in, and we wipe down our weights and we wipe down our areas, and we're all kind of in our little own bubble. But it's that social interaction. And if it's a nice day out, some of us are outside in the parking lot. But I wouldn't change. It's hard to imagine what life was like prior to coming to this community. And it's great because I've met so many amazing people that, hello, look at us. We met totally. And it's so funny because I meet people and I forget, they're just always there. They're always there, and I forget how we met. And I've had people say, I was wearing a yellow shirt yesterday to the gym, and the Coach Carey was like, that's the shirt I met you in. And I'm like, how the hell do you remember that? And once I take those people into my life and into my tribe, so to speak, I forget what it's like not knowing them. Whitney and I had a conversation. She's like, yeah, the first day that we met, and I go, I just feel like you've always been there. So I can't remember the first day that we met or how we met. And I've had a lot of people say to me, you have a personality that I want everyone to feel welcome. That's at the end of the day, I want everyone to feel welcome, feel loved, and love themselves.
And you do a great job, dude. You really do a great job. And through you expressing out loud how you're feeling about the workout and your day and everything, I think that you kind of, in a way, give everybody there permission to do so as well. So you should be, pat yourself in the back. I definitely thank you for it, because it only takes one person to get rowdy, and then everybody's just like, all right, I'll jump in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, no, I'm not doing this today. No, they're like, oh, you're gonna do pull-ups. I said, no, I'm not doing pull-ups. I'm doing ring rows because I got no upper body strength. And I think it's just, again, it's that cheering someone on, like, come on, Steph, like you're almost done. You're almost done. I want to stop holding this plank, so hurry the hell up.
And again, something else, dude, you're like a great hype man, because you say you're the guy that's like, oh, I can't do this, like this is gonna be terrible, and then you end up killing it and being done so quick is like, all right. It was all an act.
It's also just because like me talking about like saying in the workout, like, I can't do this, is me expressing my insecurity to do it. So it's like, the devil on one shoulder, or the angels on the other. And it's like, no, I have to defeat that, whatever it is. So even if it's a workout that I've done before and I'm able to go back in the app and look and see what I did, I'm like, okay, I either want to beat my time, I want to use a heavier weight, which might make me a little bit slower, but I'm stronger. And, one of the things that I've noticed for me, running, I hate running. I hate to run, but I've gotten better where I don't walk. I run the entire time. And I look back on like my notes and stuff from the different classes. And I'm like, wow, I have gotten stronger, but I love going there. I love meeting the people. I love seeing the coaches. I love most of the workouts, but there are times where you get in your own head and you just, like Gina will say sometimes, like, just put your head down and put in the effort. And the one thing that no one can take away from you is that time that you did it. Maybe you gave 50% of yourself, but you gave 50% of yourself. And that's 50% more. Now, me, I never give 50% of myself. I give, actually the college that I went to up in Connecticut, their slogan was 99.5% or 99.9% won't do. You got to give 100% of yourself. So when it comes to a workout, I'm giving even though I say like, I don't want to do this, this is so wrong, you're so mean, Aaron, which he's really not. I give 100% of myself because I'm able to look back and be like, yep, hell yeah, I did it. Boom.
That's damn right. Well, Matthew, thank you so much for being you, for expressing, like you said, your insecurities out loud, because by doing so, you remind us all like, hey, those thoughts you're having in your head about not doing it, it's not just you. We're all having them. And just like we're all having them, like we're all going to get through them, and we're going to meet each other on the other side, and we're going to laugh, and it's going to be awesome.
Exactly. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it. It was so much fun.
Yes. And I know you're thinking about starting a podcast soon. And
I
can't wait for that.
I am. It's in the preliminary stages. And by preliminary, I mean, like, I just said it and I'm kind of sketching out what I want to do. And you've been a phenomenal resource of different, ideas and stuff. So I thank you for that because I just can't wait for it. Like it's there and it's something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm going to take the leap of faith. And
hell yeah.
And it's one of those things that like, it goes back to what we talked about today. Like, I'm not going to know if it's going to work unless I do it. And so now it's like, all right, shit or get off the pot. It's time to do it. So hopefully when it's up and running, we can like do a collaboration and
yes, absolutely.
Stuff.
We can have another podcast on. And just in the meantime, while you get ready, I'll link all your social medias on show notes. That way, if somebody's listening that wants to hold you accountable to the starting a podcast, can go ahead and follow you.
Oh no. And everyone, like, if you follow me, decide to follow me on Instagram or whatever, I'm funny. I post some funny stuff. I mean, like, I feel like just making people laugh and come on this crazy adventure of life that I'm living.
Yes.
There you
It's
go.
lovely. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for being you and doing life like you do it.
Peace out. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. I can't wait to sweat next to you someday soon. Have a good day.
You too.